for Biafra.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your time zone. This is Biafra Radio, and we are reaching your kingdom. My name is Mazi George is Umeh, and it's 3 minutes on top of the hour, 8 p.m. here in UK. Today is another wonderful opportunity for us to come here to educate you. Please share this wonderful broadcast. It's going to be a short one. I've got my comrades in the studio that are going to join me hosting this program with Mazi, Lawman, and apparently Mazi Kanatakan is here with us as well. This evening we've got a lot to talk about. Today again is the 15th year of our Lord, March 2026. And it's 4 minutes on top of the hour here in UK, and the same 4 minutes on top of the hour in Biafra land, which is 9 p.m. in Biafra land. And UK is 8 p.m. United Kingdom. Share this video, and we're going to have a wonderful discussion this evening. There are a couple of things we need to, highlight this evening, for Biafrans. Oh yeah, this is Biafra Radio. I'm going to bring Mazi Kanatakan in and Mazi Lawman, my co-host. I'm going to introduce themselves. Mazi Lawman and Mazi Kanatakan, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mazi.
There we Mazi. Mazi Lawman.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mazi. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are listening from. Thank you for joining us once again. Stay tuned. You're most welcome.
Yeah, Mazi, there one. This evening, we're just going to go straight to the point because I think it's a little bit late here. I'm Biafra land as well. We're going to, I just saw Mazi, our lawyer, one of our lawyers this evening. And I think I just saw him still on the Facebook by Stan Mecca. I'll just give some updates from Sokoto there on the airport. And as apparently, I had the video, but I wouldn't be able to put it on the screen. But I think he just made another publication on his wall, which apparently we will play that probably some square of this program. But there's something he said in that particular message that's going to be a 100-man committee, as instructed by our leader. And Oyendi is going to lead it. I think this is important, people to realize where we are coming from and what we are doing, because everybody has to fall back in and understand that this is not just issue people can take into their hand. We have a leader. It doesn't matter where our leader is. He still leads this struggle. Regardless what anybody can feel, everybody must understand that this is not, we have what we call quasi-military system, and people cannot play ignorant. They don't understand what this means and how we operate. So, Mazi, I don't know if you have come across that video as well. Because I've not said more, but I think he's saying something more right now, if I'm not mistaken. He says, I just saw it before I will come live on air. But we'll play it, but I'm just highlighting it to Biafrans to know. Because those that have been under illusions and saying things without being asked questions, they could go through the right channel and get the information. But when a legal luminary came out and said what his client tells him, and this is not the first time the America have dismissed a message through our leader, even when they were in DSS dungeon. So every message that comes through them must be, adhered to. There's no question about it because it comes from the horse's mouth. Mazi, there's anything you want to say to this before we move into what we have to say this evening? Mazi, anybody hear me? Mazi Lawman Mazi Cannon Takano. I don't know if you hear what I said.
Yeah, Mazi, the video which was published, I think I bumped into the said video earlier today, in the early hours of the afternoon. The message is crystal clear. For the past couple of years, especially in the recent times, I normally target the second missionary journey of Onyendu, which counting back from 2021 until now. The first missionary journey was during the times of his incarceration in QJ prisons, during the times of 2014, 15, 16, and 17. What I'm trying to say here is Onyendu has been active. Onyendu has been passing informations, and nothing has changed. We have the lawyers, we have a couple of media of passing information. We have the publicity secretary of IPOB, who is also the spokesman of IPOB. So whatever his lawyer or lawyers pass to us is regarded as, raw information from the horse's mouth, from Onyendu. And we've also seen Onyendu himself putting up information verbatim, putting up handwritten, not even on in black and white, handwritten. You could see in blue ink, and so the handwriting is crystal clear. The message is crystal clear. So we have received the said message. Conscientious people, people that are whiter than white, we have received the message. Anybody who is saying otherwise, I want to believe that person has a motive, because this same medium of passing information has been from time immemorial, as far back as his first missionary journey. So this is what I have to say in this regard.
Thank you, Mazi. Yeah, he's spoken very well. Mazi Kananta, I don't know if you heard me or he's having any connectivity problems.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. It's clear.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, fellow members. It's my pleasure to be here. From what you said, I got information. I saw it as Barrister Nemeka delivered about 100 men committee, that will run the affairs of this organization, movement, from legal to diplomatic issues, across the world. It's a welcome address, it's a very welcome, development, meaning that anybody can do his or her job, without interference. In as much as it's like this, we have to hold on and see what would happen in the next days, weeks, and months to come regarding this very 100-man committee.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mazi.
I totally agree with you. Again, we would just want to give it a shout out, and there's something he said that he's brought a message as well from our leader, recognizing the Abia State government governor, which is Alex Oti, and they have demonstrated that the Abia has been one of the city now, not be like what happened before. We didn't have our people massacred when Okezi Bazu was there, and in cahoots with the so-called some monsters within IPOB, what happened in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So he sent a shout out to him. But remember what our leader always said: when you do good, we will praise you. Because even those that were arrested was later released. Why they arrested them in the first place, we don't know. But at least they were released that same day. So we have to recognize that. So yeah, there's a shout out there, and we recognize him as well. And all we can say to him is to continue to do what he's doing. That is what he's been elected to do: to serve the people and to do the right thing. if they are navigating Abia State to look like Dubai, which we could have, Abia State could have been, Abba could have superseded China, if you remember. But they suppressed all this before Guangzhou was allowed to join the world market. If Abba was given opportunity, I don't think we don't need to go to China because we have everything there. We don't need to go anywhere. There's brands there. That's what we need to say. We say, take the oil, just allow us to be ourselves. So we have to recognize them, but like I said tonight, but we will remind those what has transpired in Aba before tonight. We're gonna play a couple of videos of what happened there, Mazi. And we're gonna talk about some governors again that has now been flip-flopping because we need to show our people both sides when people. This is how we need to know those that came to serve us, to remind them when they are doing good things, we will praise them, but when they do the wrong thing, we'll come after them. So Mazi, yeah. That's one of the message Nameka brought as well, thanking the other state governor on his exhibited what democracy is all about. Allow people to exercise their fundamental right by coming out to protest, and we'll shout out to those that, across the Niger that came down to do that, to initiate that protest, while some people, the ones that the monsters in our land, and those that are saying that they still under Mazi now, kind of opposing. Mazi is very important. Let's finish with the shout out. They will talk about a little bit about what transpired as that and the event and the success of that protest, and some comments the individual made. We need to analyze them a little bit before we move forward. So Mazi, go on, Mazi Kananta, if you may, please.
Thank you very much. We have to commend Governor Alex Otti. This is a true definition of democracy in the right sense. And I'm glad that everything went well the way it's supposed to be. That is how it is here where we are in the Western world. You need police protection for you to do your peaceful march. And I'm glad that they behaved themselves, apart from one incident that happened where they attacked one person and 2 people were arrested. And after 24 hours, they were all released. That is a good one. But one thing is certain, I hope and believe that most of the governors should learn from Alex Otti and what happened on 12th. Because if you check those that marched or protested in the northern part of Nigeria because of the ongoing war in Iran, they march quietly, nobody attacks them. Nobody touches them. But what I found difficult is, why is it whenever something is happening in Southeast, you will see this repentant Boko Haram terrorist who are in uniform. You see them, they'll be running up and down, looking for somebody to shoot. And I believe such a thing got to stop. We don't even need their presence because we know it's a peaceful march. And we don't expect violence, except the ones they are creating themselves. So I'm very much happy, and I will say kudos to Governor Otti for exhibiting indeed that there are still human beings, or there are still good governors in Nigeria. Thank you.
Yeah, Mazi, thank you very much. Mazi, Lawman, is there anything you want to add on this particular?
Yeah, very well, very well. What Alex Otti exhibited, calls for commendation. However, not to that extreme, because a lot of things we do applaud or we give a thumb up to in Nigeria is just normalcy. It's normal. It's just like the word democracy. I could remember decades ago, Government College Umeh, where I attended, democracy, we were taught that democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. You could see the noun people appeared more than twice. So any government embedded on democracy must not be anti-people, and one of the tenets of a democratic government is the social contract, which helps the government to make policies that are not anti-people. Mm-hmm. So Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, exhibited such, and it is commendable. It is commendable. Allow me to reminisce when Okorocha, I think Rochas Okorocha, during his time as the governor of Imo State, represent the Imo State, I think 2011 until 2019, because he served for 2 terms. Alex Oti, during his first term, was, a social governor of the people as well. You remember the common phrase he always, the mantra he always chants, my people, and all that. So I think it's commendable, but when they go astray, because there's one thing about politicians in Nigeria, that threat to show off, that threat to show that they also pay allegiance to Nigeria's strict and bureaucratic way of governance. Whenever they exhibit such, the people will also tell them that, look, we employed you. Okay. So for now, Mazi, I must say it is commendable for now until otherwise. So other governors in the Southeast region, in the Eastern region as a whole, should take a leaf, borrow a leaf from what Oti did a couple of days ago in Abia State, and Aba in particular.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lawman, for that contribution. Yeah, and I have to say, like you all have said, and I will say it again. The only thing we doing here is just to let our people understand, because we have a problem in Biafra land, and the fundamental problem we have in Biafra land is because of those they call the elite have sold out. If the people we are doing what they're supposed to do, there will be no need of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB in the first place. But because they fail us woefully. Now, I'm going to play a video, because why we're doing this is to remind people what have transpired before. And Mazi, before we play this video, there's some quarters and the comment they're making. Let me say this. You know that protest has got no small protest. You know there's one-man protest. You know that one person can protest, right? So when somebody utter a word, what can the protest in Aba do to Liz Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Mazi? This is what people are writing in their word. And these are so-called people that purportedly call themselves IPOB member, that believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be. And I saw a flyer they put up. They're having a protest here in United Kingdom. So the so-called the cabal here in UK, since what they do is not protest, because protest, you're not going to protest. Why people are watching you? Have you seen people protesting, carrying food? At the end of protest, you guys will assemble in Trafalgar Square, eating food in Trafalgar Square. That's camera everywhere. It's not a merriment. You are showing that you guys are up for something. Everybody can budget that. I spend £20 to go when I'm on my way and go and buy something to eat, right? But we do away with circling in a place after. It doesn't matter if you come from Newcastle or whatnot, but they've seen the seriousness on us. And this is the problem we have in UK here. Every time we have protests here, they're going to map up money to cook food. And that was the problem we had. Some of us said no, because if we came out to do protest, we do protest and go home. On our way, everybody cannot go on their normal way, can have a snack before you get home. If you come from a far distance, then you can actually go to someone's house and eat, but not in Trafalgar Square, right? And people are writing, what is that protest is going to do to Liz Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That is how how far left these people have gone. Because that we have the wokeism now within IPOB, what they believe, and they contradict themselves, right? So I just want to point this out because it's disheartening when you see people write something. You people, for the last 5 years, Mazi Nnamdi is in prison. How many protests have you mounted? So you're telling me that every protest anybody's doing now is quite irrelevant because it's not going to change anything. That's what they're saying. But they forgot that Mandela, during the apartheid wasn't South Africans who were the one protesting. If you go back on apartheid, we were paying 20 naira, remember, to support the South African apartheid. If you remember the apartheid, if we remember, all of us that went to school, we were contributing money for them. So, but somebody today, our leader has been jailed unlawfully. Somebody is saying why people from a different tribe came to our own state to come and protest for Onyendu Ladies. People are encountering that protest. It's not IPOB protest. There's something fundamentally wrong somewhere, Mazi. I don't know if there's anything you want to add on this because it's very, very wrong.
That was 1 million march. It was not organized by IPOB. It was organized by Nigerians, It was organized by Nigerians who felt, they call it in fact a coalition of Nigerians.
Yeah.
They were the people who organized this 1 million march. So anybody can write whatever they want to write. But one thing is obvious. They see IPOB to be a very huge merchandise for a lot of them. Those of them who has monetized their pages. So they think that they can wake up and write nonsense and write whatever they want to write. And for most of them who are doing this, these are people that has never even, most of them, they've not been to strong demonstrations before, like we did as far back as 2016.
Yeah.
The first protest was in 2016,
Yeah.
March 2016, and something happened, so they don't know what these things are. So that is why, they think it's all about coming to social media to run their mouth and to start writing nonsense. Because if you think that the march is not having effect, then you're getting it wrong. You see everybody panicking, even the government. That is why whenever we call for a march or protest, you see them, they will dispatch their soldiers, police to go out and kill, just to silence us. So this is how it is. They can write whatever they want to write because most of them, they don't even know what they are doing. They think it's all about content creation, skating. That is what they are doing. So I don't really blame them. And the major reason is because they are mixed up with idiots who don't even know anything about leadership, who think that leadership is about motoring everybody down, issuing orders. That is the thing. So that is what they feed them. That is why you see them, they start writing nonsense. Even most of them, they don't even reason when they write. It's only after writing and posting that they start reasoning. By the time people start responding to them, that is when their brain opens. So it's very, very pathetic. Thank you.
Yes, Mazi. Well, we're going to move forward. Now, I just want to play a video, Mazi, if it's very important. This video I'm playing here is what happened in this is not even what happened in 2016. Remember when we were playing in Aba? That was a different one. But this one I'm playing here is the recent one that happened in 2023. Right? Aba massacre. So I just want to play a little short video. I want to play a little bit of it. It's a long, but I'm not going to play all of them. But just to remind people what transpired in Aba, just to remind our people and the difference of what we just saw and the complicity of what happened in Aba, because this particular incident was orchestrated by people that call themselves the so-called cabal. Somebody was the person that orchestrated all this and lured our people into the lion den and murdered over 50 men in cahoots with the zoo police and whatnot. But it's a reminder, because we have to remind our people. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. I don't know why he's not coming up. Okay, I just need to bring it back because I think I had it already. Don't know if the reason why it's not coming up. But let me bring it back again. Let me bring it back.
We ask for nothing than release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are shooting at us. That's all. We are peaceful protesters and they are shooting at us. Nigerian government are shooting at us. We are peaceful protesters and Nigerian government is shooting at us. They are shooting at us. Tourist targets everywhere. We are peaceful protesters.
Mazi, I hope you remember this incident, right?
Yes, yes, I did.
But do you know the funny thing? This is similar about today. Alesoti, our people protest. Nobody, no soul was lost there. Not even a person that was. But at least on this particular occasion, about 50 men fell. All the people that are arrested, to tomorrow morning, we don't know where they are. If you remember vividly. And one of the monsters came out on air and gobble himself, issued threats and whatnot, because they are the people that set our people up to die. But do you know the funny thing? This particular girl that was shouting on this video, if you remember her very well, right? This Cindy.
Of course I do.
She lives here. But we're reminding them, because all these things we have them. But this is why I'm playing this, is because of what Aba protest we just done. Nothing happened there. The Nigerians organized it. Even remember there's a protest that happened in Aba this year as well, if you remember, right? There's a protest that happened in Aba this year. That protest went successfully. Nothing happened. That was organized by IPOB. But this second one was the Nigerians, the coalition of Nigerians that see it fit to do it. But this is what happened. Because it's short, let me allow it to finish, because it's a short video.
We are peaceful protesters and they are sitting at us. You can hear the gunshots. People are shooting and shooting. Peaceful IPOB members are protesting for the defense of their leader. Shooting and killing IPOB members who are protesting.
Yeah, Mazi. So this is just a reminder, just a reminder what has happened in Aba. And Aba today is changed. Everything in Aba State has changed. Okezie Mo is no longer there, because it's when they turn their back on their paymasters. When you listen, once they are, then they will do both sides of their mouth. But we hope that Alessandro still remember what it is, because he have changed, have transformed that. But we cannot say otherwise. Economically and environmental wise, there's development going on everywhere. Things are changing. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we want to see, because Aba is supposed to be better than Guangzhou, because we've got talents there. We have everything in Aba. You hear this in Aba. It's just to give them that opportunity. 24-hour light, and at least support the industries to be able to excel. Because government supports small scale businesses. You know what I mean? That's all they require. You know what I mean? And the talents are there. This is what Onyendo has been saying. There's no factory that's functioning in all the golden grids, all this, they shut all of them down long years ago. So that's one of the things our leader has been hammering upon. So if there's anything you want to comment on this now before we move forward, because we need to remind them about Soludo tonight. You know what I mean? Because that one is another monster. After Hope Uzodimba, now Soludo is another devil that we have in our land.
I know that this very topic will dive into it seriously on 31st of March.
Yeah.
To discuss this very issue. And in a nutshell, what I would say, I still hold Chinas responsible and his leadership, Chike Doziem and all the rest of them, I still hold them responsible because of what transpired on that very day. It was a setup. It can be proven even from the position where the video was shot from. You can see that even the person,
Mazi, can you start all over again, because your voice was cutting off?
Can you hear what I'm saying now?
Yeah, it's clear now.
What I said is this. I said that this issue we have to revisit on 31st of March.
Yeah.
And no matter everything that happened that very day, I'll blame China Sanworu, because he is the main man. He was the main person that organized this with Chike Doziem and all the rest of them. And even if you watch the video and the young lady that was reporting, check the distance of the camera, that will tell you how far she was. But I heard her saying, this is IPOB, ESN protesting. What does that tell you?
Oh, yeah.
It was a signal that they were sending. And not only that, up to today, that is why when I look at all of them who claim to be in media, I'll be laughing. From A to Z, go and check their mails, go and check their posts on that very day and after. If they reported the death of these people,
no,
they were all silent.
We dealt with it. They didn't.
And that is a sign of complacency.
Of course.
And that is why I said, this will not talk today.
Yeah.
Rather, we'll talk about it on 31st. Thank you.
Yeah, 31st of March. Yeah, definitely. We'll remember 31st of March of this month. With this program we have to dedicate that day, because men fall, that Apalawa Mende and his men fall. But the reason why I just brought it up tonight is just to, to compasses with what happened in Aba, just the differences of what we are seeing now in Abia State and what is being there. But now, let's go to what is happening. We know what is happening now in Anambra State, my home state, right? That Governor Chukuma Soludo has now become a monster. He comes, like a tiger in a sheep clothing. That's just how he came. He came very, very, very. He was meek when he came, but he has things that he wants to do. And I think now this is the second tunnel. So now he does not need IPOB anymore, right? So everything he said in the past, we need to let Soludo and those that in the hem of our faith in Biafra land to understand. What is happening in Anambra State? Because it's the same protest. People have made their choice that they want to sit at home on Monday. Even if you ask the people that own shop to come out, are you going to force people to come and buy? How complicated that issue is. And now you think you can oppose yourself on people. To this time now start knocking up their shops down. But I don't know if this man have ever sat down and asked himself question what he said previously and what he's doing now. But because our people does not reason, all the things he said in the past and what he's doing now, how do we perceive him? How do we take anybody that is in a position in our land seriously? Mazi. Soludo, this is one of the first videos Soludo made concerning Onyendu. I'm not going to be able to play all of them, but I'll just blink of it. And the second video.
That they are no longer part of this criminal gang, as it were. And they are now working with us. And we'll probably see their own actions in the next few days. And the people are waiting to see what they can or cannot do to join us. And we called on them on the day of our inauguration. That if you are not part of this, come.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
And I now want to appeal and plead and request and demand of the federal government and our able president, led by the able President Buhari, that a critical person required around that table for that conversation to be complete, for us to have an all-round approach to dealing with the issue of insecurity and discussing about the future of the Southeast. That person, and we need him urgently around the table. Please release him to us, and that is Nnamdi Kanu. I'm calling on the federal government to please release Nnamdi Kanu.
Mazi, I think you can see the deceit in our people, right? This is the same man, you know what I mean? This is the same person. This is where he's campaigning though. So our people need to pay attention because it's important. I don't know who is advising him on those that are behind him, advising him on what he does, on what he's doing now. This is when he was campaigning. I said this. The previous one was the first one he said, and because this video was cut, and this one he was campaigning again is talking about Onyendu.
It's very pathetic. All of them that call themselves governor in Southeast. We are yet to see what they are going to do. But I've seen most of them, they have nothing to offer. They are just a stooge. It doesn't matter the level of the intelligence, education, just the West. They have nothing to offer. And what is very, very annoying, that our people are sitting there, wanting them to be demolishing their shops, demolishing their means of livelihood. It's time they have to get up and say enough is enough. If you don't do something, he will continue to do this. Is there any governor in the north that can try this kind of a thing? To go and demolish the businesses of their own. Instead, they will burn down that government house that day. Nobody can do that. But it's only in Igbo land where people will come out and be misbehaving. But you should know he's not the first governor of Anambra State. He's not going to be the last.
No.
But if I were him, he should look back and see those that served, how they are being treated today. And for sure, it's only a question of time. He's still going to face the same music. And that is how it is. And that is the more reason why they should be very, very careful. The way they handle people, the way they treat people. But I'm saying, it's a time our people need to get up. And said, enough is enough. Soludo did not build your business for you, and they cannot destroy your businesses. That is one thing they have to understand.
Yeah, Mazi, as a matter of fact, you see what I said when I mentioned Alex Otti. These Nigerian politicians are made of the same material, by choice. Maybe they wouldn't want to, or they wouldn't have been, like that. But by the virtue of being a Nigerian politician, by the cost of being a Nigerian politician. You have no choice. Every Nigerian politician is inexcusable. That's why when I mentioned Alex Oti, I was careful not to, give him that praise to the heavens, because I could remember Rocha Sokoro's Charles, I said he was, governor of the people and all of a sudden he changed. Now look at the video you just played. What is his name? Soludo of Anambra. He was canvassing on his knees. The Igbo people say, "Onweji ebira onato sugar." When they will begin their electioneering, their politicking, their campaigns, you see them eating corns, eating maize, eating with street beggars here and there. But when you see them go inside into the government house, they will become lords, forgetting their blueprints, forgetting their manifestos and all that. So this video also is a testament to what I had said earlier on. So Soludo is no different from what the others had done, Zikbazu and all the rest of them. But one thing is certain, mgbe chi jiri anyị ga-ama ewu niile ahụ na-adị eme kama ha ga-anaba ha na-akpagharị nnọọ ka gasị na ha na-ahọrọ onye nwe ha. But mgbe chi jiri anyị ga-ama, when there would be dark horizon, they won't be able to locate their pens. So this very attitude of demolishing people's sweat, I see it as something a rigid government, a dogmatic government will do in a democratic setting. That's why I said it's ironic sometimes to label Nigeria or to call Nigeria a democratic federal government, or a federal government, so to speak. It is federal on paper, but unitary in action, by action. So what Soludo is doing, he should be aware. He's working for the people. He's an employee of Anambra State as a whole. So if the people had decided long time ago, as it has been playing, they would sit at home, they would mark whatever they want to do. It is their own choice, So Soludo should be aware, should be put on notice. Otherwise, people of Anambra State as a whole, I believe that I know what they can do. So it's a matter of time, I must say. It is a matter of time.
There were Mazi. Thank you very much. Mazi, as well, I was trying to wind down on this program. There's something I need to ask you. I remember the last time we were in this program, we talked a little bit about it. It's concerning the evidence of the pro bono of the so-called barrister. Remember the barrister that claiming that is working for IPOB in pro bono? And I know there is a specific, request about the verification of the money that was paid into his account. And up to today, he has not responded to that. Instead of he's got the media worms running around and making noise all over the place. You know what I mean? But the evidence is there that it was being paid, and he has not disputed that payment. And the money shows that those money went into his account, right? Because there's so many, and it's pathetic that you will see. We're going to start talking about people, in this program, but you just have to mind off how to mention their name. Now, those that are talking about he been working for IPOB on the pro bono, or there's a request of him, the money that was paid for him to return the money up to now, he has not said anything about it. You know what I mean, Mazi? And I know that you the one that threw light concerning that issue that day, yeah? And after that, there was a lot of documents that were presented, transaction that went onto his names and all that. But up to now, all we see is people just keep on writing. But they have not disputed that money was not paid. All I had some people are saying that money was paid to make it G4 and
which one? The question is The question is, which one are they talking about? There was a 10 million that was given to him, but he acknowledged that the money was collected by his own mistress.
Okay.
The lady that is the head of his chambers, she collected that money. And the one she took $19,000. He said that that money was erroneously transferred into his account. And when he was confronted last week, he said that he was going to bring the evidence that the money was sent back to the same account.
That's why I'm asking. Wait, that's why I'm saying, but where's the evidence? That's my point.
There's no evidence because you know whom he is then. He has nothing. That is why they said that they are lawyers, but they don't know what practicing of law is. That laws, when you go to court, you just don't win by a mere statement. You win your case based on evidence before the judge, before the same court. So he claimed that it was erroneously transferred. And don't forget, I talked about it as far back as March 2023, about the $19,000. That was when he started his propaganda that is being paid on pro bono. What about the money that he got in Biafra land through our family members? Over $9.2 million within a space of 1 year. I'm talking from 2024 to 2025, June. So what is he denying? That is a simple question. What is he denying? He said he was going to bring evidence. Rather, he sent a bunch of idiots who can't even read, who can't even write. Or even if they read, they don't even understand what is written there in the paper to be talking nonsense. It is very, very disgusting because he is the one giving them money. You know, you remember when I called them recharge card media warriors? He is the one giving them money for a recharge card. So when you give them money, you see them, they'll be talking. They'll be talking like parrots.
I mean, that
it's just like it.
That name, you know, pierced them in the heart. If I can remember, man, you know, it was. I remember 2023, 24, yeah, 2022, 23, 24, yeah, because that's when they got their wire. So we have to put them there.
That was when they were following this man sheepishly. But today, most of them are back. They've realized that they made a very big mistake.
Chunk of them.
They were being used, and it's not supposed to be like that. Before you do things, you have to judge from both ways. You don't judge from one side of the story. Try to get the stories, balance it, then you can judge. Well, may Elohim have mercy upon us.
Anyway, we'll leave it. We'll leave it as it is. You already said that he has not presented any evidence of if the money was recently, transferred into his account, which the evidence of transfer can be visible. So let's talk about the 19,000 first, 19K. Let him prove that since the 10 million has been already confirmed, right? Because he's the one that making it. This probably said a couple of times, I can remember, we've addressed this issue before, but since he now trying to project himself that he's been working for IPOB in pro bono, but fundamental question is that who are you before you start working for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? You are nobody. So
what about the 100,000 Ozokome received? Was he not part of the deal? Was he not the one that brought Ozokome? So what does he think? Does he think that he was stupid or what? Is it what he's thinking? Is that what he's thinking? You brought Ozokome that charged $100,000.
And
is he coming to tell us that he did not get anything out of the money?
Why wouldn't he?
Come on. So he should go and just he should go and tell his kids this kind of nonsense, not grown-up men like us.
Okay, Mazi. Like I said, and you see another thing again that is very, very obvious. Mazi Lawman, you're there, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to contribute in this before we go to the last segment and try to round up?
Yeah. May we proceed? May we proceed?
Okay. Now, Mazi, not because you're here, but it's ongoing attack again. Like I'm just saying this, for the educational purposes. People being negative and saying things outrightly towards the Onyendu's family. It is actually getting out of proportion, basically on the people that claim that they are IPOB member, that they're loyal to Onyendu. I don't know. I don't understand that. I'm trying to digest it. You know what I mean? Because like we have to talk about it in a very nice, civilized manner, not like sectioning them. Those that have made themselves as a willing tools will address them on a different level. But I'm putting in a general context about the ongoing. And anytime you see such thing happening, there's a reason for it. Because when people are losing, because they know they're on the losing side, especially they have got no contact anymore, right? And so many things they have said, like I said, if we go back on 2015-16, before Chikeduzium was appointed head of Directorate of State, and people forgotten that Chikeduzium only appointed him when he was still in Kujo prison. Am I wrong or right, Mazi? Because you need to verify all this. For those that did not know.
You're absolutely correct.
For those that question that, how can Onyendu be in prison and be running IPOB? That's how it's been from in memorial. And everybody knows that.
Exactly this very month. Exactly this month that happened on 17th of March.
Yeah. So I don't understand why it's a problem now. I don't understand.
The problem is this. They have failed. They have failed everybody. They have failed IPOB. They have failed Biafrans. That is one thing they have to understand. It's no longer about what you feel or what you think. Okay? But it's about just doing the right thing. They failed. They refused to steer the ship the right direction. They were steering it against the wind. And that is the worst thing that could happen to people. That's exactly what they did. And in order for them to cover their mistakes, that resulted, they hired their people and asked them to call names. Names can never solve the problem. And I hope in the next days or weeks to come, I'm going to do an interview on exactly what played out from the day one of the rendition of Onyendu to this very last minute. Biafrans need to understand, IPOB members need to understand exactly what played out. We are not playing. They need to get it right and know exactly what happened, because they have been telling them lies all this time. And none of them is willing to ask questions because they were scared of their position. If you do it, we'll expel you from IPOB, this, that. That is crap. Ask questions when you're confused. Ask questions if you don't understand things, but not in this very situation where everybody's assuming to know, but at the end of the day, they know nothing.
We have been in that position, and that's where we still stand. That is why I said, for those that are being flip-flopping, those that fall on the wayside and now, pick up their pieces where they left it, kudos to them. But like I said, we are not shifting from the ground because we understood where we're standing. We're like a solid rock. We are there. We're not going anywhere. There's no shifting ground. As long as IPOB live it, I will say it tonight. Yeah, like I said, nobody can move me because I know why I'm here. All this we heard about them, because when Chika Politism turned Mr. Memo, because he was Memo, to scare people away, he turned Mr. Memo overnight, and Mazi, and I think this program now concerning Onion rendition, I think that program has to be held here. It has to be held here. Because we have to expel everything the way it was. This is solely just to Biafrans now to go back and listen. We know they have listened 2 years ago, but now we have to revisit all this whole event again in Biafra Radio. Because even thought, let's say the saga has been played, but now it's about people now to come down and understand the reality that what transpired. Because if you remember, they said you sold Mazi in Nanika. That's what they said. If you remember vividly. That's how it all started.
Absolutely. They said that I was the one that sold him. But there are things they forgot.
Yeah.
We talk about the issue of who sold Mazi in Nanika.
Yeah.
We have to talk about how they went and they registered Radio Biafra.
Yeah, they do Biafra in London.
Do not forget. They did that one. What led to the problem we're having today in Southeast?
Yeah,
it was because of the seat at home.
At home, yeah.
And people never knew that there was orders given, and these men flattered the orders. We need to put these things down so that they will understand exactly what transpired. Then after that, you can call me names. Yeah. After listening to what happened, you call names. They never told people that we had meetings. They never told people that Onyendu asked us to make peace. I was in radio with Chike Dezem. The other time we were meant to meet together to get this issue discussed. One said that he took me to somewhere, for that reason he's not going to be part of it. So there is a lot of things that transpired behind, which they never knew. And I think it's time to lay everything bare. Let them understand it and then judge at the end of the day. If this very DOS, in fact, the DSS DOS leadership, if they delivered or they disappointed IPOB members.
No, these people are cabal because they're not, they're cabal, that's simple as that. They're not leadership. We cannot address them leadership. There's no leadership. That's not functioning in IPOB. These guys are cabals. They're cabal. And we have to put them there. You give them that name, let them hold it. No, we cannot ascribe them as leadership. From leader who? Who are they leading? We can't give them that name on Life on Air. They can claim it to themselves, but we know that what they are is cabal. That's not functioning.
And then time will come, we'll ask them who were assigned IPOB family. There was never a time IPOB leadership.
No.
If they were cleaned, why did they change that IPOB family to IPOB leadership?
Mazi, let me say this. This is not the first time. It's the same template. Remember in 2015 what Clifford Luanya did. Remember when Onyendu didn't instruct it's the same radio that bring this problem. If you remember, the same problem that happened. Onyendu authorized Simon Ekpa to broadcast in Radio Biafra. Then themselves, whatever that happened between them, which of course everybody does, because that's one of the things they're saying. Onyendu give order, right? If Simon Ekpa could not come on air, take the oath or whatnot. But what happened is the same AG4. It's the same AG4 that Japata, because just like now, Onyendu gave a message. You didn't give message to Chike Doziem. You went to tell Simon Ekpa that Onyendu say you should broadcast in Biafra Radio. Biafra. Before you now go tell Chike Doziem, that shouldn't come from you. It should come from Chike Doziem to instructing Simon. But he passed the message because he is the man he was the member. Like you said, Mazi, I think we have to go back onto all this whole program because it's not like saying it half-half. What the Jofo did, including the $179,000 they ate in our account in America.
Well, 746,000.
$749,000 US. They shared among themselves. Chikerism was involved. In UK, how much did Chikerism take? All the money we have in UK here. I remember how they stifle all the whole money. It's not something that's hidden. So I think we have to go back there since we have all the evidence. We have all the evidence. It's not like we're saying it. All the evidence is there to prove what we are saying, to back everything up. All the things that transpired, including the company house, what they did in company house here, all this is not, we have to bring them back. Since they want it, the Biafrans need to know, to refresh everybody's mind. So the same pattern people don't use with them. And a man you
don't know what it means. Most of us do not understand what it means to be a Biafran.
You have not seen anything yet. I was kidnapped
I was beaten, I was spat at, my clothes were ripped from my body.
So that's our leader's voice, you know what I mean? I don't wanna, because sometimes he's amazing, Mazi. But like you said, we will come back into this program and we'll have to have a multiple segment, you know, to lay things to bear, you know, what have transpired since 2021. Onyendu was, you know, rendition. We have to start from the beginning again, you know, for our people to realize what has happened. It is very important, Mazi. You know,
I quite agree with you. I agree with you.
And I think this is the last line of defense that we need to deal with at this point in time. You know, at this point in time, this is line of defense for our people, because I think now that you just saw what Nemeke Jofo said, I see some of them are they are running mad right now. They're confused. Maz, I'm telling you.
And that is why it's very important. This program should happen so that let them be a witness. People should go and ask them to confirm if there is any atom of truth in what we are saying, because it's very, very important. So that they will know, even if 100 men are going to take over to do what they have to do, they can now tell themselves, oh, we failed here, and this. Not for people who go with the notion that they did not do anything. They need to know exactly what they did. That's what happened in IPOB. These cabals planned it very, very well. But only that few of us were out here to checkmate them, and we did it. That is the only reason people are still talking about IPOB today. They are thinking that they will destroy IPOB. They dined with the governors, they dined with the politicians in Alibo and in Nigeria. So what else again are they going to tell us?
You know, it's crazy, but I'm not surprised, as I would always maintain. The template, as Mazi may have just said, is there. It's just repeating itself. You know, as I did target, this is the second missionary journey. The first missionary journey, we all saw what happened, just exactly the same. From 2015, 2016, 2017, during the time of incarceration of our leader in Kuje prisons. You know, almost everything that happened is just playing out again. And if they are wise enough, they should understand that we have gone past them. They are worth nothing. They should borrow a leaf from, what is his name? Umeh and Co. and just go ahead, or maybe find one club and register and forge ahead. You know, the handwriting is crystal clear. You know, Mazi, this is just a template, a repetition, a pattern of what happened during the time past from 2015 to 2017. You know, some of them during that time, they never believed, they never envisaged that Onyendu would be released, because after 17th of March, it took a couple of weeks, another 4 weeks, when Onyendu was granted bail on the 17th of April 2017, you know, just 1 month after that very appointment of Edozie and Co. You know, so they never envisaged that Onyendu would come out. So this is just, you know, a pattern. You know, they should just borrow a leaf and move on, because they're going to be irrelevant. Yeah.
Let me say this, just like what Lawman said. That is why I see most of our boys, our people, flip-flopping. I will give you a scenario. In UK here, because like I said, we are there. We are testament to the reality, not like hearsay. When this problem struck in 2015, I remember our former coordinator here in UK, Festus Sanekwe, was a good man. I will tell you what I told him that day. I remember we had a meeting in Forest Gate. That day which came, after everything, when they relieve him his position. But what Festus could have said, that I'm sorry, I was misled. Because I will not speak ill against my fellow comrade. All of us are under oath. I say it all the time. We're not fighting anything. Me and you see on low can still say hi to each other. Because I know that we're under oath. I went after him. I called him and said, my coordinator, why don't you just come back and say you're sorry, you are misled? You know what he told me? He looked at my face, he said to me, Mazi, let's see what will happen. Because they believe the Onyendu will never come out. Just like what Lawman just said here. All of them then was in accord that Onyendu will never make it alive. I'm telling you the truth. Just like what is happening now. All of them have written our leader out that Onyendu will not make it alive. But one thing I must tell you is that when a man is in a journey, like I said, we are not here to, try to picture what they are having in their mind, but we already know what is running in their mind, and those that are still confused, because there are so many layers of people. There are about 4 categories within our people as it stands right now, right? So, but the hardcores, when you listen to hardcore, it doesn't matter what happened. The hardcores are there; they don't move. And those hardcore we don't criticize people, but we don't forget, because why? We're under oath. That oath will fight you and bring you back. But when you come back, you have to go back. When you see, you have to come from the behind. Did you remember what Oyeni said? Each yatazu, you go to the last queue and stand there. That is how it is. So Mazi,
yes,
I think we need to, like I said, it's about time. So the sensitization have to take a different route for everybody to understand what is going on, and we have to spell it again. It's going to be short segments. It's not going to be too much, but the vital information was what we have to push out now to Biafrans to know exactly what happened. Because I have to go from the beginning again. They try to explain to what happened from the July the 20. I think is it 21st? Is it
no.
July 27th, right?
No, this
from June. It was June.
From June 19th.
Sorry, June 19th.
Yeah.
June 19th. Sorry, my mistake. June 19th. June 19th, 2021. Because that day is not. Some of us will not forget it. We will not forget it. June 19th. So now that's the main thing we need to start from where the whole thing started, because the left is accusing right, the right is accusing there. But at the end of the day, today we are here. Those that are accusing you that he sold Mazi Nnamdi your brother, but they don't know how Mazi Nnamdi has been surviving for the last 5 years. They're not in tune on what happens to him. But you are the one that sold him. Let's assume that they have evidence to show us, because what we're telling them, give us receipt, show receipt. And the one that came out and told us that sold Onyendu 9 million, we'll be asking that question, who sold Mazi Nnamdi? Because he told us how much they sold Onyendu.
Of course.
That's what I'm telling. We have all this. He said how much Onyendu was sold, 9 million. He called the amount of the money they sold to our leader. It's not me. We have all this evidence. So, but like I said, we'll go back and bring them, because I think our people will forget so quick. And some of us now that is confused, I think we need to clarify all of that. As we need to round up on this program, because, like I said, we're just here to let Biafrans. And Biafrans, I see Biafra Radio, and we're reaching out from United Kingdom. This is an international section with me here, Mazi Takano, and my co-host here, Mazi, Lawman, Obichie, and subsequently he's going to be anchoring program here in Biafra Radio. And we are here live, and it's 11 minutes on top of the hour here in United Kingdom, which is past 9 here in UK and past 10 in Biafra land. Mazi, is there any closing remarks you want to give us before we're trying to draw the curtain and move on from here?
Thank you very much, Mazi, and thank you, Biafrans, for listening. Hopefully, in the next days and weeks to come, we are going to do more to tell people what they need to know and what they need to be aware of, where these cabals are. Thank you for having me, Mazi. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming. Mazi Lawman, my co-host, please just give us some closing remarks before we call it a night.
Yeah, from here, it is a very good day. And more importantly, for those at home, I just want to let you know, be on your guards, and as well, do not deter from whatever that is right, whatever that is moral. And you have seen what's going on, the global crisis in Iran, in Israel, and US, a couple of things have changed. Increase in petrol prices, which would give birth to what is it called, famine. Prices of food is going to increase, not famine literally, but increase in food prices, increase in transportation and all that. So this is the time to be on your guard, make maximum use of whatever resource you have, stock up foods, go into farming. This is the farming season, and let's see how it goes. Nigeria is one funny country that has crude oil but imports petrol. So this global crisis, which has, of course, I understand it's global, but Nigeria relies on oil exchange. They sell crude oil, import petrol. It's laughable because you see, it's just like somebody who has a farm. You have a farm of palm trees, and which will give you palm fruits and all that. But you will sell all of those, and you keep on buying oil, buying brooms, buying palm kernel oil. But you have all of those when you choose to refine them yourself. Mana corruption aga here when the Nigeria, only corruption. Because you see, this by extension, on the other hand, this crisis would have benefited Nigeria because you see the increase in oil prices would have been beneficial to Nigeria, by selling. Let's take for example, if oil price per barrel, if it were $75, for example, and it increases to $100, it's a benefit to Nigeria. But at the end, they will still import petrol, so it's just like cutting your nose to spite your face. So anyway, that's by the way. What I'm trying to say is it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard for people, residents in Nigeria. So diversify, do everything within your powers to survive, and do not indulge in whatever that is not morally right. So from me, from here, I say, may God bless all of you and keep doing right. Thank you.
Yeah, Mazi, thank you very much. And that's the voice of Mazi, Lawman, Obichie, my co-host, and myself, Mazi Umeh from UK here. I can only just add to what he just said concerning the new global world order, which apparently is needed to be happen, because this has been it's long, it's over 4.5 decades, and things need to change. And like I said, we have to do what we have to do. People have to. Every nation that survives in this world, there must be some kind of fundamental change, and that is what is shifting around the world, because the wokeism have killed the whole world. The Western world is on its edge. I don't think they can survive it. Even we that live in UK here, we can see. You walk around in the United Kingdom, you'll be amazed the amount of potholes that you couldn't believe. Third world countries don't even have it. So that's a fundamental problem. So the crisis between America, Israel, and Iran, personal views, I think, is what has needed to happen. Someone has to be bold enough to take that bull by the horn. And the consequences, people are going to bear the burden. Like Mazi Lawman has given advice for those that are living in Biafra land. We that are living here, we're not even sure if we are safe, because anything can happen. Nobody knows. you know, if the shooting missile to Greece, who knows what's going to happen here? So, but at the end of the day, well, like I said, it is what it is, and we believe that the good people, when you fight a good fight, those that are in the right side always win. You know, because there's a need for someone to step up and say no when things are going wrongly. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to say. And one more time, and we have to remember our leader in our prayers, you know, the arrowhead of this struggle. And your loyalty is not something that I find fault. That is one thing people must understand. People say, oh, we are Republican by nature, but we are loyal because what we are fighting for is something that is dear to us and is fundamental. And when you move away the arrowhead of the struggle, how far do you think you're going to go? Take Mazi Nanikan away from the equation. All of you that are shouting today, you have no moral ground to talk about anything. Nobody will listen to you. That is the fact. So there's no way you will sit in your own comfort zone and questioning a man that has seen it all. Because if it's something that has to be done monetarily, I don't think he will still remain in Sokoto prison. So let all of us use our common senses. You know, it's commonsensical. Instead of making mistakes, we cannot continue to be making mistakes and saying sorry all the time. And I'm going to tell you that all we need is to come back together as one family. Those that still believe, but there's no faction in IPOB. That's very, very dear to us. It doesn't exist. Anytime you want to implement anything that does not have IPOB in it, you're on your own. You better, move away quietly and go establish whatever you want to establish and deal with that. But you need to sit down on your comfort zone and think you can't do it because it's beyond you. So that's all I have to tell you. And subsequently, we're going to have some different segment of program on Biafra Radio and on our different platform where we're going to dissect some issue as well. But based on what we have discussed tonight, we're going to continue. In a nutshell, we're going to start it in earnest. So for me from here, it's good evening from London.